Hi everyone, Cendril here, and welcome back to Wild Arms 3. Now that we, hopefully, have the sound issue completely resolved, thank all of you that were commenting. Let me know, hey, the sound sounds good. We should be good to move on, so let's do that. Even I showed my strength to the Guardians when I became a priestess. I just followed our village verse. So why don't we ask about it? Alright. Now this is important. Follow the sun to the east. So I faced the monolith of Grudev just to the east of me. It was such a long time ago, I don't remember what happened then, except how tough a trial it was. But I braved the trial of Grudev. Once I had the power of earth, I faced the guardians of wind, water, and lastly fire. So she's basically giving you an order that you might want to go in. Now remember, I've done this once. I went in that order, and the fights went okay. I didn't lose any of the fights. Nobody got KO'd, although we got close a couple of times. So hopefully that will do well. Head out and face the southern sanctuary and you can see an ocean of sand. You know, right? The dunes are all that's left now, but in the days of our ancestors, it was a blue sea full of life. Hey Shane. You can hear different things when you change the party leader. Make my brother the party leader to learn about the Guardians from a different perspective. You're gonna release the Guardians, right? I suggest you further hone your skills before you try. After all, the Guardians aren't going anywhere. And I'm not just saying that so you'll stay here in the village with me. So basically, hey, you might want to level up. Much of the lost knowledge of Filgaia is still here in Baskar. You never did like listening to our stories. But knowledge is power. Lend an ear to the legends if you want to survive the wasteland. It's a great thing to merge your consciousness with the Guardians. That's why our ancestors left it for us. So this is something I'm going to have to keep in mind for later. Is that we need to talk to people with different party members so they say different things. And we can get different information. I think that's going to become an important thing later. All we need to do now is we need to head to the Fallen Sanctuary. It's just a balloon. Fallen Sanctuary. Instead of going across, though, we need to go up. It's different than I imagined. It's hard to explain, but... You thought it'd be a lot more beautiful and glorious? That explain it? With the sanctuary housing guardians, the power that sustains the world, you do have certain expectations. Suits me just fine. This place is just like Filgaia, empty and barren with only the dry winds blowing through. Is Filgaia the way it is because this is how the Guardians are? Or is it the other way around? Who cares? No, that's a... yeah, just like, who cares? But that's actually a really interesting point. I do wonder which way it is. Huh? I think it's trying to tell us something. Yo, what do we do? I don't know. Don't ask me. Wouldn't you be the one to know? We were a little unprepared. We should have inquired as to its proper handling. It's beginning to swell up. I don't think I can hold it any longer. Where's the Arc Scepter? Perhaps this phosphorescence is a ritual meant for the bearer of the Arc Scepter. I don't know. Does that mean we've officially been deemed bearers? What was that? Oh, my head. My hangovers were never this bad. Is this a migraine? The pressure inside our heads does indeed feel like one. However, this feels as if someone is calling to us from deep within our hearts. It's soft, but very loud at the same time. If this really is the shrine where the Guardians are worshipped, then this voice must be... Let's go. Let's go. Okay. The monolith is decorated with a strange symbol whose meaning is beyond you. One could cause the Guardian to materialize by focusing everyone's willpower together with the Arc Scepter. It's like, oh, well, which one's which? You don't know. However, if you have Gallows, this monolith is decorated with the rune symboling Grudev, the Guardian of Earth. One calls the Guardian, and then you know which Guardian it is because he can read the symbols. He knows how. That's a very interesting mechanic. Again, it's something I'm gonna try my best to keep in mind. If I kind of get stuck or I'm just not finding out where to go next, I need to talk to different people with different party members and see if the dialogue changes. Hale, Gallows' grandmother, started with Earth. We're gonna take that tip and start with Earth as well. The ground sends waves of quakes in the distance. You feel a presence bigger and heavier than anything. The power of Earth crushes all with its howl. The bearer of the Arc Scepter must have the strength to fight that which has no form. Fight, and show your strength to Grudev. Grudev, how are you supposed to know? Because I don't know. Alright. Grudev. Now, the problem is, we don't have any spells. Remember, Gallows won't either, because Hale took it. So we're going to focus on using items and Mystic to heal. Attack, attack. Mega Smash. Dodge. Ooh, critical hit. Nice critical hit. Mega Smash. So, you can see what's happening. Every time somebody attacks, he counters with this Mega Smash technique. Planet Breaker is the really big move that he has. And as you can see, it does a good amount of damage. Shoot with Virginia. Shoot! Hey, critical hit. Good, she dodged Mega Smash. I needed her to dodge. From now, this being the second time that I fought, you dodge the counterattack a lot. So, wow, another critical hit from Gallows. Gee, getting really lucky there. So, although Mega Smash can hurt, he misses a lot. Shield. Reduces attack damage. Oh, that's not fun. Virginia will defend. Clive needs to reload. Attack. Attack. Oh no, Jet got hit. All in all, though, this is a really straightforward fight. We're now going to Mystic a Heal Berry. So everybody gets healed. Lock on. Reload. And reload. Everybody gets a heal berry instead of just one person. Mystic's really useful. Mega Smash, but Clive has a lot. Alright. Shoot Virginia, shoot Clive. Gatling. And Gatling. Wow, that 5 was all that was needed. The smart man, if I knew that, I wouldn't have had to use a heal berry. That's the deal. Sometimes you just don't know. Clive and Jet level up. So Jet's level 6, Clive is level 8. Terror Roar acquired. A medium doesn't exhibit its power just by holding on to it. You have to go to the menu's Evoke command, where you can evoke the medium and become one with the Guardian power. Each one of us can evoke up to 3 mediums. Anything above that would break the game, or just overload our consciousness, and may result in terrible consequences. Once a medium is invoked, the Arcana command becomes available during battle. Arcana is an extension of the Guardian's power. Think of it as magic, if you will. It can be said that using Arcana is also the key to winning. But one thing you have to watch for is the enemy's elemental property. The effectiveness of an Arcana attack can differ greatly depending on an enemy's elemental properties. So we now have access to this Evoke command. This will let people invoke mediums. I know, I threw in some extra thing there. At least 3 seems to be a lot. Remember, most of this game for me is still blind. I'm going to give it to Gallows because his special ability is being able to cast on everybody. And he's a really powerful spellcaster from what I've seen. He has more magic than everybody. And I think that's only just going to continue. He seems like a spellcaster to me. What can I see? Can't look at the here though. It'll give him access to Petrify, which is an attack, if I remember right. It's an earth attack. Shield, Protect, and Decelerate. Decelerate makes an enemy go slower. And I know Shield and Protect sound the same, but I think Shield is magic. We just saw Shield reduce attack damage. Maybe Protect is magic. Anyway. The monolith is decorated with runes symbolizing Shurdark, the Guardian of Water. Now, it was recommended to do Wind next, but I had the hardest time with Wind. And Fire was really hard too. So I did Earth, Wind, Water, then Fire. I guess it's to show the opposite elements. The problem is the Wind boss is really, really fast. And was doing a lot of damage. So I'm going to try things differently this time around. I'm going to do Water next. The visions in your minds are bound together. The currents flow softly, yet strongly, and never stop. You feel a presence kinder and more passionate than anything. The power of water engulfs you in its grasp. The bearer of the Arc Scepter must have the strength to fight that which has no form. Fight and show your strength to Shurdark. I have no idea again how to pronounce these. So, it's a giant turtle, which is really cool. So, let's see. Softens physical attacks. Protect is magical attacks. You kind of think of these opposite, honestly. At least I do. I think Protect for physical attacks and Shield for more magic attacks. But it's when it comes to magic, and it's the opposite here. And Decelerate makes the enemy go slower in the turn order. So, all in all, really useful. We're gonna have Gallows attack so he can actually cast. Big Press. Are you noticing how this works? Yes, it's the same thing. As you attack the enemy, it will counterattack. Nice, critical out of glide. Assault Tide is its really big attack. As you can see, does a ton of damage. Mystic Healberry. Lock on fire. Okay, now we can start casting. Party. And now Gallows is just going to slowly buff the party. Big Press. Pressure! We know pressure. Gallows has used it. Alright. Defend, attack. Good dodge. Good. Clive was guarding, so that's not gonna do much. Attack, attack. Shield. And you can see, by holding triangle, you can see status changes. So you can see who has shield and who does not. Who has different statuses. I'm gonna cast Protect on Virginia, just so you can see. By a bear that reduces magic damage. Critical hit out of Clive. Interesting. Attack. Lock on. I wonder if you can only have one or the other, because the status change down there, it shows just the armor. Extension. Shield. It'd be interesting if you could only have one or the other. Now, it may have just worn off. Yeah, it had just worn off. Okay, you can't have both. That's great. Good news. Gatling for 3 shots. You see, when you use extension, though, you need to be careful that you still have MP to cast with. Now, I knew, or not MP, sorry, FP to cast with. Now, obviously, I thought the fight was going to end soon, so I didn't care about it. But watch out for that. Gimmel coin. Hey, Virginia levels up. She's level 6. Yeah, that's almost level 8. Aqua Wisp required. And we're going to give Gallows Aqua Wisp, and I'm going to give Virginia Terror War. So you can see that Aqua Wisp, getting the Shirt Arc medium, works like what Gallows had. And if I remember right, Hale said, you know, this is just one that we made ourselves with the blessing of Shirt Arc, but it's not the real thing. But you'll see all the stuff he had before: pressure, refrigerate, heal, analyze. So the reason I'm thinking about, and what I've done, is give Gallows Aqua Wisp is because heal. And with being able to heal, he can use his extension ability to have it affect all party members. So he could heal all the party members at once. And I think that's a pretty big deal. Alright, now we're going to try Fangalon, the Guardian of Wind. The breeze turns to a blade that cuts away the clouds. You feel a presence sharper and swifter than anything. The power of wind shakes the vast wasteland. The bearer of the Arc Scepter must have the strength to fight that which has no form. Fight and show your strength to Fangalon. It's a tiger, which is really neat. It's a really fast enemy. Could analyze it, but I want to get Gallows ready to heal. High Speed Ripper is its really big attack. And as you can see, does a hefty amount of damage. Oh, missed. Sonic Scratch, and there's its counterattack. And you can see it's a hefty counterattack. You can change the evocations around in mid-battle. I've not done it, so I don't know if it takes turns or what, but the option is there. Turbulence. Evasion increased by 180. Didn't think it was hard enough to hit already? Oh, there you go. yourself. Defend. Attack. Heal Virginia. Inspire. Yeah, you thought it was a buff spell or something? No, it's a lightning attack. Interestingly enough. Now this enemy does a lot of damage. That's why I don't agree with the order the game hints at. Like, I would much rather go and get the healing. I think the Earth one is a really good one to start with. Like I said, because it'll give you access to some buff spells if you're having a tough time. And also, it does seem to be the easiest out of the four. Just because of the slow speed. You don't have to worry about getting outdone, like here, like this one. And we're gonna cast Petrify because I think it's weak to Earth. Yeah, that's where your big damage is gonna come from. In this fight. Otherwise, it just has a lot of evasion. The Lacan will make sure we hit, though. That is everything. Now, I don't believe it'll show us... Oh, high-speed Ripper again. I don't believe we will get to see its HP, but we can see like what it's weak to. We found out is Earth. Yeah, resistant to wind and lightning, and looks to be weak to water and earth. I think those are what those symbols are. You gotta kind of figure it out. So it is weak to water as well. Take 255. Guard. Virginia Vortex. See, is a wind spell. Good. You should be really careful about the speed that Fingalon has. That is a level up for Gallows. We now have access to Gale Claw. I think I gave Gale Claw to Jet. Vortex, Inspire, Turbulence, and Quicken. We see Inspire's the lightning attack, Vortex is wind. Turbulence, I think, may slow the enemy, and Quicken makes us faster. I went with that. The monolith is decorated with the runes symbolizing Morgult, the Guardian of Fire. One causes the Guardian to materialize by focusing everyone's willpower together with the Arc Scepter. We surely wield the Guardian, yes. And we'll end the episode on this, after fighting this one. Visions in your mind are bound together. The swirling blaze coalesces, heralding a new beginning. You feel a presence hotter and more ferocious than anything. The power of fire spreads its crimson wings. The bear with the Arc Scepter must have the strength to fight that which has no form. Fight and show your strength to Morgult. And as you can see, it's like a flying dragon-like enemy. Interestingly enough. Attack, attack, attack. Everybody attack. Just need FP to do stuff. Vulcan Beak. There's its counterattack. And here's its all-attack Vapor Blast. This one to me is probably the hardest now that I think about it. You know, Fanglon was pretty difficult for me. This is the hardest because the amount of damage this enemy throws out is really high. You want to try your best to stay on top of the healing. Cremate. Jet. Give him a magic shield with protect, and then we're gonna heal him. Vulcan Beak. Hitting Kalos some more. Cremate. Who'd you hit with? Hit Clyde. Okay. Shield Clyde. Fire. Heal. Heal Clyde. Doesn't Jet, you got hit. Why? It doesn't have the greatest defense, Morgult. But it's just the sheer amount of damage that he could throw out with Vapor Blast. Makes him highly dangerous. That might knock out Jet. Nope, I think Shield saved him. Okay, that ended it. If that didn't end, I was going to use Mystic with the Heal Berry to heal everybody. Just the sheer amount of damage you can take in that fight it's really crazy for how much HP you have right now. Try to stay on top of your HP. Fiery Rage acquired. Which I think I gave to Clyde. There we go. Now, you can give the mediums to whoever you want. Virginia doesn't do a lot of damage with her basic attack. Like, the only reason I basic attack with Virginia is to build up her FP. I want her to have Terra Roar for buff spells. I would give her healing with Aqua Wisp, but Gallows can heal all once he has enough FP without using an item. And I think that's a really good play. So I give Gallows the heal, I give Virginia the buff magic so she can spend her time building up allies' defenses. And you'll see why I gave Clive Fiery Claw later. The Arcana for the Fire Cremate, which you saw, it's fire attack. Devastate takes 20 FP for good reason because it's a high damage. I think it's even non-elemental attack. Fragile lowers enemies' defense, I believe. And Revive is, well, Revive. It can bring a party member back, if I remember right. Which is good for Clydap because he has a lot of HP. So I think it's good for him to have that in his arsenal, just to help us out. Earth, Water, Fire, and Wind. We got all 4 mediums from the 4 Great Guardians. And these mediums, in their purest form, are said to contain special powers. One of them is to summon. Summoning is classified as a force ability, and is a command which lets you materialize the Guardian's power by expending FP. Its destructive power increases as more FP is expended, and affects multiple targets. A couple of things you need to watch out for. One is that it's just like Arcana. Its effectiveness can vary depending on the target's elemental properties. 2. The number of times you can use it is equal to your MTC. The biggest drawback, though, is that once you summon, all your FP will be depleted. With 0 FP, your options will be limited, since FP also affects arcane and force abilities. And you can't ignore how it affects your attack and defense power too. This is something you should use strategically. Well then, now that it's all over, I suggest we go see Hell. This was an official mission we undertook. The proper thing to do is to go back and report.
I still can't believe that the power that sustains the world is inside this tiny little plate. It's even more unbelievable that it's mine.
Hey boss, should we go after him? No, we'll let them be. Only for the time being. Boss, look! A watchbird, huh? Well, we did fail to seize the Arc Scepter. And I'll have to deal with the consequences. Sooner or later, I'll have to come through for them, or else they'll have my head for sure. They? Who is they? I don't know! Whoever Janice is working for. But that completes this episode. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Hope you had a lot of fun. You can see the MTC there. We start with 1, so we can summon 1 time. And I think it comes back with rest. You have to rest like at an inn or something. Like that, and that'll get it back. I've not used the summons yet because of the fact that it does better when you have more FP, and when you use it, it drains all your FP. And I've been liking to use force points for other things. To heal, to cast buffs, to use things like lock on. So I will use them eventually for sure. I just haven't yet. I am going to head back to the village. Oh, there's the world map. Neat. I'm sitting here pressing buttons, trying to find the world map. Cool. So, dungeon, town. That is super useful. I'm really glad we have that now. And you can see the town. You can see the terrain and everything. That's really good. That's really helpful. I don't think we cutscene right when we walk in. It'd be great if we didn't. Darn it. Well done. I knew you could do it. Now, hand me the 4 mediums. Here you go. Hold up, Granny. You're not planning to secretly switch those with the imitations, are you? Bite your tongue. You think I would stoop that low? Something you would do. Listen to me well. Each of these pure mediums emits a special aura that protects the bearer. It enhances your physical attributes by raising your attack and defense level, allowing you to take on powerful monsters. And whoa! Quit overreacting all the time. Shame on you. But the mediums. Nothing to worry about. They're all right here. Personal skills are hidden within each medium to protect the bearer. Personal skills are activated by expending PS points and vary according to your level. Their many uses vary from offense to defense and anything else you might need to fight off monsters. I just awakened this hidden power inside the mediums. Now, invoke your medium and experience their powers firsthand. Okay, good. Now we have access. Okay, one more thing before I end this lengthy episode. We now have access to the personal skill command. You have as many personal skill points as your level. So Virginia and Jet have 6, Clive and Gallows have 8 because that's their level. Depending on which medium you have equipped, you get different personal skills. So the ones for Morgult are Fire Ward, resistance to elemental fire attacks. You can see it says points required 1. So every point takes 1 PS point. The great thing that I've seen is that you can reset these at any time. Well, I don't think you can reset them in battle. You might be able to, I haven't checked. But you can reset them. See, I can put them all in, back up, it's fine. Go back in. And you can still reset them. I think that's great. I love it when points aren't permanent. That way, if you don't feel like you wasted one, if you either put it in the wrong spot or you try something out, it's like, oh, that's not great. The other things Clive has are poison, resistance to poison, and critical hit. Increases the chance of critical hit. This is why I gave more Gult to Clive. He already does a ton of damage as it is. Being able to critical hit lets him do even more damage. And that's kind of his main thing anyway, is to fire the rifle and do damage. That will let him do even more. So that's my thought process. It takes all 8 points that he has, because it's 2 for 1 bar. You can see up there, points required 2. So it's 2 points for 1 bar. But I'm maxing that out. If we come up against poison a lot, I'll probably end up taking a few out of critical hit, and putting it into status war poison. But that's how that works. I'm going to put the points in, and then next time I'll go over how I put the personal skill points in, and what each medium, the personal skills that each medium has. But that'll wait until next time. Again, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Hope you had a lot of fun. Hopefully you don't mind this way more lengthy episode. Just because I wanted to try to fit all the boss fights into one, and then we came back to town, and, well, of course there's a cutscene right when we go into town. Until next time, thanks for watching. I'm Cendril 9. Remember to shoot for the stars, and take care, everyone.